Welcome, everyone, to the Humor in Chaos podcast. I am Sarah Howard Nelson, and I am a certified life coach and a certified art therapy practitioner. And I am super excited today because I have my very first interview with a very good friend of mine. I am so excited to share her with you. Her name is Pam Cannon. And I met Pam when we were in a Zoom group coaching session together back in, I think it was 2021.
Yeah, actually 2020 is when it started. Oh, maybe it was 20. We're in there. We're in there
We're
somewhere.
in there
2020,
somewhere.
2021.
It was while we were both going through some marriage troubles, and
Yeah.
along with a group of other women who we are still friends with online via our shared experiences. Pam is one of those people who lights up a room, even a Zoom room, just with her presence.
Aw.
Pam's life roles include being a mother, a volunteer, an artist, and a business owner. She has encountered significant challenges, including the dissolution of her 25-year marriage, which I can completely relate to, and a severe ATV accident, which led her to embark on a path of self-discovery and healing. Hello, Pam. How has your day been going?
Hello. Well, you know what? It's been going wonderful because the sun is shining out here in Vancouver, BC. We're known for all that rain, but you know what? It's sunny here today. So I spent a lot of time pulling some weeds, and that's therapy for me.
Gardening. Yes, I loved gardening when I was able
Yeah.
to.
I'm
Gardening
sure
and
my back will remind me tomorrow how much weeds I pulled today, but that's okay.
so how about you start by telling us a little bit about where you come from and your history?
Okay, so I'm 55. I'm a mother of two beautiful girls, 29 and 25. I was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, but I've lived a good portion of my life in Vancouver, BC. Actually, most of my life in Vancouver, BC. I am co-owner of a construction company where I deal with all the office admin and the payroll tasks and things like that. And the funny part about that is that I hated math growing up. I mean, I hated who likes math? And
Not
what am I
me.
doing? I'm working in an office with numbers doing math. I'm like, who would have thought? But I just, anyways, it's that's just part of life. I start every day actually. I This is very important to me. Every day is started with a good cup of coffee, and I sit outside and I take a breath of fresh air, and I just am thankful for the gift of a new day because none of us knows what our tomorrow brings. We don't even know what the rest of our todays bring, right? So
Yeah.
I got to take that time and just be thankful, whether it's going to be good or bad. I just want to be open and ready to receive it.
You and me both. We both know that very
Yeah. Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of a little bit of yeah, little background.
You have
Uh,
a history of extensive volunteering even before your challenges start, like a lot. Like what kind of stuff did you do?
so I volunteered with the RCMP out here where I did victim support work, and I did that for about 4 years, and that was a beautiful thing to be part of because when you're in a situation where you're helping people through trauma and you're doing it voluntarily, even for the person going through it, they receive your help differently because I'm not being paid. I want to be there to help you. And it challenged me still in other ways, but it taught me so much about the incredible people out there and their resilience and the beauty that's out there and the resources that are out there. And it opened me up to that as well. And the knowledge of that and finding the resources so that I can continue to help the community in the ways that I can. And because of that, too, I got to know a lot of the RCMP members, and I would host a Cops for Cancer Christmas light fundraiser every year. I'm a bit of a Christmasaholic, and I'm okay with that. I'm not in denial about it anymore. I don't think I was ever in denial about it. But I would deck my house out with thousands of Christmas lights, and I would hold a silent auction. We'd have hot dogs, and members would come out and meet the community. And I got to know a lot of the other businesses in the community as well that would donate items. And all the funds raised went to kids with cancer so that they could go to camp. And I had people coming to me and sharing their stories, some that had gone to camp, or just kids that were going through these experiences. And once again, what a beautiful gift that was. So you never know where your volunteering is going to lead you, right?
Or what it's
Um,
going to teach you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so that was some of the volunteering I did then. And then that kind of led me forward in putting myself out there after things happened with my marriage. So,
So let's go ahead and dive right into that. So when did your challenges start, approximately?
so they started April 1st of 2020. And that was a tough time, when um, I look back and I've learned a lot since then, but in the time at that moment, my entire world came crumbling down. I was lost. I was confused. I was devastated. I begged and begged for him to come back. Um, and that's a normal thing. That's what we're going to do. Either spouse, whoever. It it was for me very unexpected, and I felt a little silly that maybe I didn't recognize that there was more there. I knew there was a disconnect, but I think I just thought after 25 years we'd find a way. We'd still find
Mhm.
our way. Um, and so that of course, did not happen. However, he did agree to do the program Marriage Helper.
Mhm.
And that is where I was connected with you and some of the other beautiful women that we are friends with to this day. And that alone has been part of my beautiful journey. But in doing that course, it, it taught us a lot. Um, and I continued on with the group counseling because I wanted to start growing into being a better version of myself, and I didn't know how to do it. I I was lost. I didn't care if I got out of bed. I forgot to eat. I
Mhm.
lost so much weight. I think I was under 100 pounds at one point.
Ooh.
Um, and it's not that I was not eating because as it was a rebellious thing, or I was trying to make a point, or I thought maybe he would change if I did it. It wasn't that. This was just part of the coping that wasn't really coping because you're lost.
Yep. Yep.
So,
I understand.
yeah. So it was really, really tough. And then, so that was in April, and July of that year, he ended up having a massive heart attack while he was with this other person on the island. And that was devastating because I'm still trying to, get over the fact that he's not with me. And now this has happened. And I'm like, I should be the one that's taking care of you. Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do now. Like, it's like things sort of kept happening there. And I thought, at the time when you're in it, I'm thinking, I don't understand what's happening right now. I never once, and I don't know why, I never once asked, why is this happening to me? Or why
Mm.
is this happening in my life? It was never a question. And I don't know why that is, except that I can elaborate on that as we go on in conversation. But yeah, so then that was all in the beginning. We did the marriage helper course. I followed through. I did the things. We did our group counseling, and that gave me the tools moving forward. Um, Fantastic tools, actually. Like
Yeah.
yeah, fantastic tools. Um, and then the following year, I had my great big massive ATV accident. And to this day, I say it was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And I know
That's a
that,
big statement.
right? Because I'm, and that is where life really started to change. So it took me about 2 years to officially decide that I needed to start looking out for myself. But it was this accident that had me recovering in a wheelchair and then going to a walker and then moving to crutches and learning how to walk again and doing it by myself. He
Mhm.
wasn't there to help me anymore, right? Like, and I was very fortunate. My girls were fantastic. They were a huge help. And the friends and family that poured in was overwhelming, actually. But what that did was it reminded me that no matter what's going on, I'm not alone. There are so many people out there that will love you and help you through these times. But the hard work, that was on me. That was that was definitely on me. And I again once never asked the question, why did this happen to me? I actually, and this is I remember thinking in that summer, so this was in 2021 when the accident happened. And this is where I decided, Pam, you need to get out and start doing things. You need to live life. You know, we got one shot.
Yep.
And even though I wasn't completely emotionally ready, I was doing what I thought I needed to do to move forward. You know, I was going out, I was getting involved in activities, I was going camping with friends. And so we're out on this ATV trip and we're going very slow. Like my sister-in-law was pregnant at the time and she's leading the pack. Like we were literally going 15 kilometers an hour. This was one of those accidents that it was just a freak accident. We're coming back, we're 5 minutes from our cabin. We're on a gravel road. Literally, we're 5 minutes away. There's a truck coming up towards us, and it was very dry and dusty. And I went to go wipe off my goggles, and I thought that my daughter, who was in front of me, I thought she just slowed down, but she'd actually stopped. And by the time I realized that, I was now going to be too close and I was going to bump into her. So I looked to the right, and it was a drop off. It was a great big cliff. And then I looked to the left and I saw this truck coming up towards us. And I thought, well, he's going slow. So if I turn towards him, he's going to see me. He's going to, and it'll be fine, right? Everything's going to be fine. But what I didn't realize is how close I really was to my daughter's ATV. So what happened was I literally bumped into her and it was very loose gravel. And my ATV started to go over this cliff. And my first thought was, I got to jump because I don't want to go over. And so I did. I jumped. I don't remember hitting the ground. And I do remember when I was waking up, my daughter was screaming, Mom. And I'm thinking, why is she screaming? Like, what is happening right now? And I don't even know I'm on the ground yet. Like I'm thinking, what is going on? And so I hear her skid beside me and she's like, Mom, are you okay? And I'm trying to talk and no words are coming out. And then I'm like, yeah, I think I'm fine. So I'm pulling in limbs and I got to my one leg and the pain, I can't even describe the pain. I think when I moved it, I probably cleared, I don't know how many hectares of land in that scream that I let out.
Yeah.
But that's when I knew maybe I'm not okay. And so then from there, it was waiting for about 3.5 hours to get an ambulance up there. And the community that was up there at Gun Lake, absolutely incredible, amazing people helping, trying to shade me. It was 33 degrees, and I'm lying in the gravel on my belly, which I later found out the ATV had rolled over top of me as well. And I didn't know that because I was out cold. So thankfully, I'm glad I don't know any of that. But it was the people who witnessed it that went, no, it rolled right over top of you. So I guess when I jumped off, it kind of sent it in an angle and it rolled over top and it ended up sitting in a nice big tree. But so yeah, so 3 hours ambulanced into Layton. And then from there, they ambulanced me into Kamloops. And I spent about 3.5 days in a room by myself with no windows, one of those buzzing, you know, lights above you, the fluorescent lights. I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't read anything. And I didn't have my phone, so I guess it didn't matter. I had nothing. I'm literally in this room thinking, wow. And they're giving me morphine for pain. And I'm thinking, well, if you really want to get to know yourself in a situation, be in a room by yourself, broken on morphine, and there's no windows and nobody around you. It was like, whoa, like what is happening right now? So it was, yeah. And then from there, I remember the nurse coming in about, yeah, 3 days or 3.5 days later, just like, Pam, they're taking you to Vancouver. And I just started crying, saying, I'm going home. And of course, this is during COVID, right? So the ambulance picked me up. They took me to the airfield in Kamloops and planed me to YVR and then ambulanced me to Royal Columbian Hospital. And that's where right the next morning they performed the surgery. And it was turned out that my entire pelvic ring was shattered. And yeah, my left leg, the muscles, the nerves and the tendons really badly stretched. So it was about a 7-hour surgery to put me back together and a lot of metal. So, and in that is where I literally felt like Sky Daddy was saying to me, Pam, you're just not getting it. Like you just don't go out and start doing this stuff and life's going to be better. And that's literally what I'm like, what I was trying, like I was making an effort. So it was, yeah, it was the beginning of the next part of my journey. And honestly, probably the best part of my journey, because with that, not only came the physical healing, which was quite a road, uh,
Yes.
but it was the emotional and the mental healing because that was all up to me. Nobody else could make my body better. Nobody else could get me up moving. Nobody else could make me do the exercises. Nobody else was going to keep me healthy with nutrition. Like I had to make sure I was doing these things. I had help. I had incredible people, helping. And um, that is also where I really learned that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
None of us are alone. We just have to remember to ask for the help. And that in itself is extremely humbling
Yes.
and difficult to do, right? We want to be the ones giving the help. It's so much easier that way. Like I
It
really want
is.
to be the one that could give the help, but I was in a wheelchair, so there wasn't a lot that I could do, and that was tough because you're forced to sit down and think about things. Like you
Mm.
literally, I was being forced. I was being told, you have you got crap you need to work through this. You can't just push it away. You can't pretend it didn't happen. It's part of who you are, and it's part of who you're becoming, and it's part of what's going to shape you into being that best version of yourself down the road, which by the way, you never stop working on. You
That's
always
right.
keep doing it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
in that same position for similar reasons when we met. We're
Yes.
at home post surgery, but still, in your
Just trying wheeling in my wheelchair after this. It
and
was, yeah.
and me incredibly ill from my lupus and everything. We were both doing a lot of physical healing and both doing a lot of emotional healing and mental healing. And we were both really on the same plane.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We were. And it was, and I guess the part, if you want to look at the beauty in that, is that it was being able to understand that we could truly understand what we were feeling or going through and what the emotions were, because it wasn't just about the dissolution of our marriages, that we thought we would be married for the rest of our lives. Like I signed up for life. I was, so not only are we mentally trying to process that, but now physically we are going through a challenge that is bar none incredible in itself. And that also, affects you emotionally. And it just makes, yeah, because when you're physically exhausted and in pain, your mental and emotional level is not going to be well either.
That's right.
You are, and everything is more difficult. Oh my goodness. A commercial would come on TV with a cute little puppy and I'd be bawling my eyeballs out. What is wrong with me? Was either that or menopause? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
And we both turned 50 about that time as well, because
Yes,
we're about the
yes,
same age.
yep, we did. We were both, yeah, I had just turned 50 right that fall before. So yeah, it good Lord, man. Could it have been any more on our plates there? Like, but you know what's great is that we can be here. We're like laughing about it now because now it's like it's not laughing about it. It's being able to laugh knowing that we've made it through that time that was struggling and we've come out on this end. And when you're going through it at the time, you feel like it's never going to be over. You're never going to find that light, right?
Yes, that's
So,
exactly how it felt. It felt like this is how it's going to be the rest of my life. And the
yeah,
answer to that now I know is no.
no, no. But when you're going through it, and if
Feels
somebody were to say to us, you know, you won't feel this way forever, I probably would have looked
limiting,
at them and went, what do you
limiting.
know? Like,
Yeah. So I
oh,
would I would have been like, no, you're wrong. But
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like it was kind of, yeah, it was a long journey in the time and in the moment, and it still is. And there's there's days that are still hard, right? Like there's still days that I look back and think, could I have done things differently? And so, actually in saying that, there's a lot of things. I mean, a marriage doesn't fall apart just because of one person. It takes two in a marriage. The choices that each of you make, however, are your own, and you are
yeah,
responsible for those choices, right?
yes.
But um, I learned that there was a lot of things that I needed to work on in me that I had forgotten about. You kind of, I think when we become wives and possibly mothers, if you've had kids as well, that becomes your new identity. And when you are stripped of one of them, which is what started your whole life, your marriage, without the marriage, you wouldn't have the children and so forth, you're lost.
Yes. Yeah.
Who am I without this person in my life? Like, who am I as an individual? What do I like to do? What makes me happy? How do I find me again? Like, where do I start? It is the most lost place to be, you know? Um, and that is where, gosh, I just remember thinking, okay, well, Pam, what do you want to do? And then my inside voice say, I don't know. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? Right? Like, I don't know. Like and it's so like I'm thinking the conversations I have with myself in this house, if there was anybody in here to listen, they'd be like, oh, she's fallen off a rocker. Like somebody should go and send the men with the white coats to go and help her out there. Like I think she needs a little more than what she's giving herself in her self-talks. But no, I just remember thinking, okay, well, what is my happy? Like what makes me happy? And this is all now going back to, okay, try and think about before you were married. Well, what were the things that you did? Well, oh my gosh, that's years ago, man. I don't know. What did I do? And just for the record, we were a lot younger. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe going to the nightclub or doing whatever was maybe what we did back then, but it's sure as heck not what I can do now. It's just, yeah, it's not the same. It's just not the same. So I started thinking one of the things that I did in my younger years was I rode horses competitively for about 9 years. I
Mhm.
loved it. I did the dressage and the hunter jumper and, the blue coat and the whole bit. And I was very fortunate growing up that my family had horses. And my cousin was teaching a course on learning about the energy of a horse and
And
the chakras of a horse and the healing part that you can get from horses. Like things that I didn't know when I was riding, in my younger years, right? But as we get older, we find ourselves more open to learning these things. God, I wish I knew so much more, back then, because if I could take a little bit of what I know now, I would have loved to nurture a little bit more of that. So the riding and the horses, for example, and that energy that they bring into your life. So I took this course through my cousin, and she's just amazing. She's got a farm in Alberta, and I just learned so much about using these energies and letting these animals know. They were never asked, well, can I hop on and ride you? We just started doing it. Or you want to pull that big wagon of dirt for me or plow my fields? We don't ask them. We just hook them up to these things. So for me, this was all about, okay, I want to surround myself with these animals again and the love that they have, and the calm that they can bring into your world. So I just started sending out random emails to local farms. This is so out of my comfort zone. I This is not me. Because I'm just now I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm just putting myself out there to people I don't know.
So how did you build up that confidence to do that? Because that's a big step after all that.
It was a very big step. You know what it was? I was starting to feel like, okay, actually I'm gonna say probably the 2 year marker hit from when my marriage had finished, right? And it was, yeah, probably it was April 1st, 2022. And I decided it was time for me to start living life. I had been given what I felt was a second chance. That accident could have been so much worse.
Right.
And I'm knowing like life is for living. It's going to deal us some pretty crappy challenges. Well, what am I going to learn from that? And where do I want to go with it? Right. So, horses, yes, something in my past. I loved it. I wanted to find a way to immerse myself into that again. So I'm like, okay, Pam, it's time to just try. I'm just going to try. And emailing was kind of it was an easy way to do it because I wasn't just walking up to somebody at a farm and saying, hi, my name is Pam and I want to help with your horses. Like, I didn't have to worry about seeing them face to face because I was nervous about this. Like, yeah. So I just started Googling local farms around me and just started putting out a blanket email. And it pretty much just said, hi, my name is Pam. I am a lover of horses, and I'm really looking to getting back into the horse world again. And if you're looking for someone that could come and help with mucking out stalls or grooming horses or exercising horses, I would love the opportunity to just volunteer my time. So here comes my volunteering again, right?
Mhm.
Um, and it was scary. And I don't know how many emails I sent out. And for the first, I don't know, I felt like probably about a week, I heard nothing. And I thought, like it took a lot for me to send these emails. Like, well, what if nobody gets back? And I thought, then you know what, Pam, you're going to send some more. You are going to send some more. But I did. I had a farm get back to me. And the farm was called Nama Stables, which I just think is great, right? It's the Namaste. And I just thought, well, that's just speaking to me. I mean, and lo and behold, it's like 5 minutes away from me. I'm like, this is just too good to be true. So I made arrangements to go and meet uh, with the woman at the farm. And she's absolutely fantastic. And she's kind of asking me, so why do you want to, like, you just want to volunteer? Like for free, you're going to do this? And I said, yeah. I said, life has dealt me a few challenges, and horses, they bring so much joy and calm into my life. And I would love the opportunity to just come and be here and help however I can. And so she said, okay, well, let's go. So to this day, we're 3 years later. We're actually really good friends. And there's more to that story too. But that is how I got into doing the horse thing. Um, and to this day, I still go and help with her horses. And from that, I was introduced to another friend to come and help out with her horse. So I was doing that 4 days a week, going out, grooming, riding. Oh my gosh, connecting and healing,
Mhm.
and just being, it was beautiful. And I'm to this day just so grateful for that. So because I've done that, it kind of word of mouth travels, right? And you get to meet more people and it just kind of moves along. So that part of my life is wonderful and beautiful, and I love it. And so from that, I also started doing my stained glass.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, so I have a piece behind me there, but when my dad was quite ill, I had taken up some classes in stained glass, and this is like almost 20 years ago now. But I had done nothing with it after I'd learned about it. I had done nothing with it. And I'm feeling like I have a lot of time to think, and I'm feeling lonely. And while I'm doing stuff with the horses, and that's beautiful, I needed more. I needed something that fed my soul in a bit of a different way and gave me another focus. And I decided to unpack all my stained glass gear and just start putting things together. And my youngest daughter, who is an incredible artist, she could take images. We would look at images and she could draw images out and make them into pieces. And together we'd figure it out how I could do it. And I just started making them out of glass.
Wow.
And it was amazing because when I was doing that, I was thinking about nothing else. I
Mhm.
was focusing on this piece. And in doing it, it spoke to me more because I'm looking at it. And that's where I kind of got the motto that it is in broken pieces that we find true beauty, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I just thought, wow, I can take these pieces, these pieces of broken glass, and I can shape them and I can mold them and I can make them into something beautiful. And with that, it gave me more happy thoughts. And from that came Happy Thoughts by Pam. And that just flourished more, right? Every single piece I made had that happy thoughts energy going into it. And that just even built my heart more
Yes.
because it was more healing that was happening with every single thing that I started to do. Something else would come to mind. Pam, you should try this. You should try this. You should. It was awesome. And it still is awesome.
Mhm.
It's, yeah, it's been a really neat road. It's been a really neat road.
Art is
Um,
amazing. Art is just so amazing. And you don't
yeah.
have to be a good artist. People get like, well, you're an art therapy practitioner, therefore you're a good artist. I'm a terrible artist. I'm not art trained at all,
Me
not in the
neither.
least bit. But
Nope.
I just in going through my own stuff, painting or drawing, just anything. And with crayons, with markers, with oil paints or acrylic paints or water paints, molding with clay, just playing with Legos.
Yeah.
It does so much to help you process your emotional state and you don't even know you're doing it. It's
No. Right? That's what's so fantastic. Like, yeah, like it just gets me excited even thinking about it, right? Because it does. You're right. Like it could be anything that you decide to pick up and do. And next thing you know, you're feeling really good about what you just did. And you weren't even thinking about maybe something that was pulling you down or bringing you down because your focus is somewhere else. And the more your focus goes into that better place, the more and more that just happens naturally. And then
yes.
it just keeps going and feeding and growing and opening more doors and allowing you to kind of take a few more risks, maybe, not be too afraid to try something new. Which, yes, I've done a fitness class that I've started. That am I allowed to say what I started?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I started pole fitness. It's not pole dancing, it's pole fitness. And here I am at 55. I'm probably the oldest one in the class. I'm definitely comedy relief, but I'll tell you, it's got to be one of the best things I have joined in a long time because when I'm in there, I'm having a good time and everybody's building each other up. And there's different shapes and sizes and ages, and there's men and there's women, and everybody's just in there. You're just in there. And I got to tell you, I look like a monkey on a pole. So I'm not even focusing on anybody else. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall and hurt myself. But, but it's been, and I'm thinking, okay, here I am 55. I'm like, yep, that's me up on a pole. It's just, but I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't have thought of doing that before. Like, it's interesting, life will bring you through these challenges. And my marriage falling apart was the first of one of the biggest challenges that was devastating. But, and then my accident, but you look at these things that have happened, and there's been other things that have happened in my life as well that haven't been so good, but I can look at them now and go, well, look at where I'm at today, because I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff that I'm doing today. Like I know for sure, everything that happened to help me be where I am today.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have thought to try these things or to go golf. Oh my gosh, I'm addicted to golf. And I'm like, you go out and you hit this little white ball and you might miss it 4 out of the 5 times that you're going to swing at it. But I'll tell you, when you hit it and you hit it good, you've just won the lottery and you're ready to go play another round. I have a group that I play with and they're fantastic. And as soon as we hit a good one, they're all like, you want to play tomorrow? It's like, yep, let's go. So it's great. It's filling your life with the things that bring you joy. And you will find that, you'll find that. It might not feel like it in the beginning.
That's
Um,
right. It doesn't at the beginning. It doesn't.
no,
There's
no,
apprehension. There's a little bit of fear and trepidation and
so much, so much. And even just the idea of, you know, um, letting your heart, letting things go so that you can move forward.
Mhm.
I don't, I don't think I ever thought that that was going to be an option in my life. I hung on for 2 years, and that's when I sort of came to a place of kind of telling myself, you know what, Pam, it's okay now. It's okay for you to move forward. Stay true to who you are, love life and live life. And those things happened to bring you to where you are today, like I don't know if I would have asked for it to happen that way to find myself, but it did. And here we are having this conversation
We
today,
are.
right? Like 5 years later, 4 years later, and it's like, wow. Now I look back and I'm like, where the heck did the time go? Right? Like
Yes.
you've moved and you've written books and you're doing your blogs and you do so much stuff now. Like I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like
Stuff I never would have done if the marriage had not fallen apart. I know for a fact. The books maybe, but none
yeah.
of the rest of it. I would not have done the rest of it.
And you're
I
so good at all of it. Like it's just your niche. You're just amazing. Like you have inspired and encouraged me with the things that you do. So I'm just thinking it's just,
You started me actually.
oh,
Yes, you
that's
did. When no, seriously, when I first saw you, um, was it well, it was a combination of things, but I'm trying to remember if yeah, it was the horses first. When I
okay.
saw you, the photos and the videos of you riding the horse, and you were absolutely glowing. And I
Yeah.
was like, dang it, Sarah, you can't ride horses, but you could take something in your life to the next level. What is it? And I looked at my life and went, okay, what is it? What is it going to be? And and then when you started your Thoughts by Pam with the stained glass and the
Yeah.
stuff that you were writing and attributing to it with the healing, I started, talking to my daughter about a website and a blog post, and I started taking the certification classes for life coaching. Started with you, girl. Yes.
I'm, wow. I literally can feel my heart kind of like thumping really hard right now. Like that's, oh, and that big lump in my throat. I'm like, that is amazing. And
You without telling me, told me that I could examine my life and put one thing up just a notch. And that just started another notch in another area and another notch in another area, and
oh,
things just slowly grew. So
that is, that is just awesome and beautiful. And wow, I'm literally wow. I'm literally wow. I'm feeling a little speechless. Because that's just the most beautiful thing to hear. That's
that's why
just,
I wanted you to be my first interview too.
oh, wow. This is just getting more and more. I'm just like, okay. Oh, it's just so great. When you asked me, I just thought, even then I was wow. I just was really? Like, really? You want me
Yes.
to? It just, yeah, it's just been wonderful. And the timing of everything when it's happened, like when you think that life is a little bit struggling or something's going on, honest to goodness, if you're open and ready to receive these beautiful blessings, they will keep happening. You just
Yes.
truly have to believe that you are worthy of that, right? Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
just yes, and that's the hardest part sometimes,
And how
right?
many of us did not feel worthy when these things were first happening with us, with our group that we were in? We did not,
Oh, no,
but we
no,
got each other there, you know?
yeah, 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 yeah. No, finding, you're right. None of us understood our worth because we were too broken to understand it, right? And
Yes.
a lot of processing and learning in that time. But finding your worth and knowing that you are worthy of these beautiful things to happen, that's a huge step forward. That's a
Yeah.
huge step forward. And it feels like it's something that should maybe come easy, but it didn't for me. And I don't think it does maybe for others. And that's okay, because that's part of your process of healing. That's you're grieving. You are grieving, right?
Oh, weren't we? We were so
Yeah.
grieving. Yes, we
And
were.
and grief, it's got a lot of stages.
Yes.
There was days where I thought I was okay and I'd be laughing at things. And then there was days where I was angrier than angry. And then it was like, well, I don't know if it's anger. I think it's pain, but pain can come out as anger. And then it was like, well, today I'm just grumpy. I'm just really grumpy or just like, and I'm not, I haven't really had like a grumpy kind of feeling in a long time, which says a lot, right?
Yeah.
About moving forward. It doesn't mean that things don't tick me off here and there because they will tick me off still.
Yes.
In making a choice as to how you want to deal with those challenges when they come up, shapes everything moving forward. And it's okay if you're needed to make a choice to say, I'm not okay today. That's okay.
It's
Don't
okay.
then don't be okay today, but don't keep yourself there.
And
Right?
I think the health challenges really taught you and I that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, yeah.
Because
Because,
when you're healthy, physically healthy, you feel like you can't have a down day, even if you're dealing with something that's emotional. Well, yes, you
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Even if it's only emotional, of course you can have a down day. But
Yeah.
you really have to face that when you have a physical thing and you have a down day. You just have to.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
things are, along with, needing to ask for help is humbling. So is dealing with those health challenges when they take you down.
Yeah. 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 When you're feeling at a place where, you're working through life's challenges and now you've got these physical things that are almost having you feel kind of incapacitated, like you can't do anything else. I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to be I and yet I will say actually, no, when I had my accident, I wanted to see people. I wanted them to see that I was going to be okay, that I had this, that I could do this,
Do it.
that I was going to take one day at a time.
Mm.
And I was gonna, I mean,
There's
what
the
a good lesson to learn about don't think about tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet.
there's the
Be
key.
present, right?
Yes.
And and it's hard when you're going through struggling times. It's hard to not maybe think ahead about the what ifs. Just don't do it. Just give yourself a break and give yourself some grace and just be in the now because
Mhm.
the now is all you know. And maybe the now is difficult where you're at. That's okay. That's not actually going to stay that way. It won't. And you just have to believe that, right? It
Yeah,
just,
that was my biggest lesson right there was that
yeah,
what you just said. I had to learn to just be in the now,
yes.
deal with tomorrow, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give things that haven't happened worry. They don't deserve that space. It hasn't happened. You're giving energy to something that hasn't happened. So just be in the now and just, yeah, it can be hard, but it's a good lesson. And the more you tell yourself that, the more you'll kind of live that way, right?
Yes.
So
Oh, wonderful. So let me ask you, okay, first of all, so Happy Thoughts by Pam, your website. What's your website?
my website is it's happythoughtbypam.ca just because I couldn't get the S in there. I don't know. It just it was taken already. So it's happythoughtbypam.ca. Um, and yeah, I've got a few of my pieces on there and why I started and the journey that it's kind of been for me. And I just, yeah, would love people to check it out. I currently have my things kind of packed because I'm hoping to be moving in the near future here. But
Sure. Okay.
yeah, yeah, my the house is up for sale. So big move. Just so that'll be more that's coming up. But and I'm ready because this home is a home that we built together.
Right.
And while I've remade it a space that is for me, it's time for me to move on to my own new space and find that place that I can make my home and build my
Yes.
new memories and start fresh with new beginnings and new opportunities and yeah,
That's
and I'm
great.
excited about
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and because you've moved, so you've got your new space, right?
I have now downsized 3 times.
Oh gosh.
And it was really hard to do. The very first time was when we moved from Minnesota to California. And um and I thought that was going to be the only time for a long time I was going to have to downsize because
Yeah.
I didn't know that the marriage was in trouble yet. But and then I had to do it again when I moved from the house we were living into an apartment, and then when my daughter moved out I had to do it again to an even smaller apartment. So downsized 3 times.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, and I gotta tell you that taking the time to pick through everything and allowing myself to grieve and feel
Mm,
that with all the memories as I got rid of stuff, gave stuff away, and also chose stuff of no, I'm keeping that. And I even have a blog post somewhere where I talk about my oldest son, an art piece that he had from high school that I just love. And my last move, when I was taking it down off the mantle, it was starting to disintegrate my hand. It was a sand
oh,
painting made of colored sand,
yeah.
and it was literally falling apart in my hands.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, oh no, because I've had it for years and I love the piece. So I did the only thing I could do. I laid it down carefully and I took a snapshot of it. So that's all I have left of that.
Right.
But once I got through that downsizing process, I felt better afterwards.
That cleansing and fresh and new, right?
Starting
Yeah.
brand new with decorating how I want to do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
how
Yeah. I'm
anybody
excited
else.
for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So currently my stuff is kind of packed away for doing the stained glass, but hopefully I'll be moving and finding that place and unpacking it and getting back to making those pieces, right? Putting those pieces together.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's that part of it.
So let me ask you one more question.
Okay.
So if there's somebody listening to this and they're in approximately the same place that you were in back in 2021, 2022, or, even if you could reach back to yourself in that time, what do you want to tell them?
Oh, wow. I want to say don't give up on yourself. Um, I loved being able to share a little bit of my journey. And in doing that, I hope that what it does do for others is allows them to know that there is light at the end. Even when you're in your darkest place, don't lose hope. There is always hope. Don't give up on yourself. Find the things that bring you joy. Know that the pain that you're going through now doesn't last forever. You will find your happy thoughts and they will fill you with so much and feed your soul and bring you to a place that you'll one day be looking back thinking, wow, here I am. And I'm a better version of myself for it. You know, take one day at a time, one day at a time. Be present. Um, don't not do things because you're afraid of what others might think. Don't hold yourself back from doing the things that ignite your soul, that get you out there. You know, I think if I had told people I was going to go into pole fitness, they would have been like, "You're going to do what?" Don't don't worry about what other people are going to say or
That's
think
right.
or do. Do what brings you joy and and do it with every part of your being and be patient with yourself.
Yes.
Be very patient with yourself and love yourself. Look in that mirror every day and tell yourself that you are worthy, that you are amazing, and that you are deserving. Just every day, live life to the fullest. Go out and do what sets your soul on fire.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Pam, it has been so wonderful to see you.
It's
Just
been so
wonderful.
wonderful to see you.
Well,
This
you
has been,
actually you had me tearing up a few times. You really did. I had
oh,
to call them, and I was like,
I have
"Don't."
my Kleenex here too, just in case. I was like, okay, just see if you can make it through. I'll probably do a little shedding of tears after because this has just been a beautiful gift to share and to share with you and to see you and to reconnect. And I just, yeah, I hope that whoever is able to listen out there, that they do, they never lose hope. They just keep moving forward one day at a time, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. And for
Thank
all of
you.
you who are listening, thank you so much for joining Pam and I. This is the Humor in Chaos podcast. You can find me at www.humorinchaos.com. You can email me at humorinchaos@gmail.com. You can find this at YouTube. You can find this on Podbean, and you can find this on Apple Pod, all under Humor in Chaos. And if you or someone you know would be a great guest on this, on sharing your story on how you found joy again after or during challenging times of your life, like Pam went through, um, contact me. So thank you. Next time we'll talk.